Willie McDonald has been a banker in Nashville for an incredible 67 years. He started as a clerk, making sure checks were endorsed, and worked his way up to vice president. Now he works with his son and grandson, and he isn't ready to retire yet. Wackett Willie McDonald has spent 67 years in the Middle Tennessee banking industry. The last 11 of those years, he has worked as business development officer for Seedstone Bank, the bank founded by his son Bob, photo, Wade Payne / for the Tennessean, by photo. Everything was manual, at first. There were clunky, metal adding machines, not calculators. Typewriters, not pocket-sized computers. And the first thing Willie McDonald did every morning was sit at a huge table covered in mail, the snail delivery kind. He opened envelopes from banks across Middle Tennessee, North Alabama, and Southern Kentucky. And he made sure every single check inside was properly endorsed. It was a solid job for an 18-year-old, though it paid $40 less per month than his newspaper route. But checking those checks set him up for a lifelong career. McDonald has now been a banker in Nashville for 67 years. In fact, it's become a family profession, one his son and grandson have also pursued. The 3 generations of McDonald men now work together under the same bank roof, carrying on institutional traditions old and new. McDonald never went to college. The third youngest child in a family of 6 boys and 5 girls, he was born in Monterey, Tennessee, where the only future was on the Tennessee Central Railroad, in the coal mines or at a sock factory. His father was a train engineer, who in 1936 moved his family to Nashville. His dad died 6 years later, when young Willie was just 12 years old. To help support the family, McDonald got a job, getting up at 5 a.m. to deliver newspapers 7 days a week. He walked a route between Acklen Avenue and Blair Boulevard. In the afternoons, he sacked groceries. He made $175 a month in the news gig, and didn't believe there would be much more. In the 1940s, you didn't have opportunity unless you had money. McDonald knew he wouldn't be able to go to college. Willie McDonald, center, with Roy Lawrence, left, and Charles Doherty, photo, Wade Payne / for the Tennessean. Instead, he took a job as a clerk in the transit department at Third National Bank on 4th and Church. It changed his life in great ways, but first it freaked him out. I was just out of high school, 18 years of age, he says. I didn't know anyone. I was just terrified. Because he didn't feel like he was smarter, McDonald worked harder. The majority of his colleagues had a university education. He attended night classes at American Banking Institute. I was just busting it trying to make a career for myself, he says. At the same time, he formed a family. His future wife, Helen, also worked as a clerk at the bank, opening the mail. Even future presidents started as a clerk in a transit department, McDonald jokes. When they got off work at 6 p.m., the clerks, most 21 and single, would go to Printer's Alley for a bourbon with Coke or 7-Up. He married her 3 years after he was hired.